Well, I guess we I guess we only lost by a score. I guess that's good. I mean, but the real question is, you know, are the Bears cooked? Is Caleb Williams a bust? I don't know, but we'll be answering those questions in the next couple of minutes. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sobacksports, and I'm so back with another video, or should I say, so back with another episode of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and yeah. So, how are you feeling after the slate of games? I mean, right now one of them is going on, but how you feeling?
Look, there's a whole saying, any given Sunday, and I think this week, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of all the games, but I think this slate of games, especially Sunday, the first 10 games of the morning slate, uh, really showcase what any given Sunday is because there was a lot of upsets. You got the Raiders beating the Ravens, you got you know the Vikings beating the 49ers. So there was a lot of games where I thought, also the Colts losing to the Packers without Jordan Love. So there was a lot of upsets, but, it was very entertaining. And, that's just what football is. Football brings Sunday's excitement. So I was just excited, bro. But I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I mean, listen. That speaking of the Bears and Texans, let's get into that game right now. So the Bears clearly lost this game against the Houston Texans, who are undoubtedly, I guess, or close to being Super Bowl contenders, if not already there. CJ looked really good. The defense looked really good for them. And yet our defense was able to hold them under 20 points, which was really, really good. And that just about ends all the good things you can really say about the Chicago Bears. And you can really say all the positives about Houston. Um, you see, it comes to a point where we got to realize that this is a rookie quarterback, and we invested in him not because we want to see immediate success, but more in terms of long-term success. I think that's the thing. It's a developmental program, and I know that a lot of Fields fanatics and Field stands and all that stuff are gonna be, harping at us saying we made a mistake. We shouldn't have taken Caleb Williams. We should have stuck with Fields, get in the hall, and all that.
we want Fields.
Exactly. So, like, while that, that's an argument for what we've already had a civil war for, but it doesn't change the fact that we went and got Caleb, and Caleb's our quarterback. That's it. We got to stop the dramatization of this whole situation, and realize that it's a developmental process. We're talking about long term, and clearly, while we do have a good plan long term, it's the short term battles that it's going to affect the outcome of long term success, and that is being our offensive line. Offensive line wise, what was that? Like, Nate Davis didn't want to be there. It seems like I felt like I was just watching Luke Getzey all over again. Like, this was pure, like, I don't even know how to explain it. What are your thoughts?
Look, I watched this game Sunday, obviously. And look, I agree with you. This is a rookie quarterback, right? Like we got to be patient. And look, it's hard. I get I get it for Chicago Bears fans like us. Like we're we're so tired of like seeing mediocre quarterback play, but we gotta understand that he's a rookie. Like no matter how generational a rookie is, you're gonna have growing pains, and obviously after week one, I was like one of those saying that Caleb's a bust. I was overreacting like because the Bears offense sucked, and look, I think Caleb Williams played better. He looked a little bit more confident. Obviously the numbers are better, except for the
The 7
interceptions.
sacks doesn't really help your confidence, I will say,
No,
but
no, no, no,
I
no.
agree
But
what you mean in the beginning.
no, no, no. But what I'm trying to say is, I think Caleb Williams made some good throws. Like this game, I saw him make good throws. Now, is it like mind blowing? Like, am I like, so happy? No. But look, he's a rookie. We're going to have to give him time to succeed. This is a long term process. This is not, oh, we're contending for the Super Bowl. Will it be nice that we make the playoffs? Yeah, it would be very nice to make the playoffs. Um, but the main goal is to get a franchise quarterback, right? So, look, I like what Ryan Poles did this offseason. I'm not going to get into everything because we've already gotten over that. The one thing that I do have critiques about the offense, and mainly the offense, is the offensive line. The offensive line, you're not going to win football games if you're a star running back. And now I'm not saying everything's on DeAndre Swift because, look, the offensive line is not, for a good running back to make good running plays, you're going to need some protection. You need some run block. Offensive line played so bad. The DeAndre Swift had 18 yards. I think he had 18 yards for 14 carries. I'm not sure. Look at the stats, but it was really, really bad. He averaged like 1 point something for each carry. Um,
Yeah, it's pretty
there's
bad.
no Caleb
And it's
Williams
like,
was literally pressured 36 times
mm-hmm.
out of 37 dropbacks or like 48 dropbacks or something like that.
Like
Look,
stuff like this too. Like
oh
if
yeah, I
you're,
was right. Yeah, 14 carries for 18 yards. Yeah, I was right. So
yeah,
I think obviously running to the left did not make any sense. It did not work. I think the Bears played a lot better running, like when it comes to running to the right. But look, I think the run game needs to improve. For Caleb Williams to be confident and help a rookie quarterback, you're going to need to have a run game. It's going to be your best friend. You saw last year with the Texans; they had a pretty good run game. Trevor Lawrence, when he was playing good in his second year, had a good run game with Travis Etienne. Like Patrick Mahomes had a good run game. Obviously, the Chiefs are different because it's Andy Reid. But I'm just saying, Bears fans put brakes on the Caleb bus. No, he's not a bust. He's going to be great. I promise you guys, he'll be great. It's a matter of time when he will be great. We have to be patient. We weren't patient with Justin Fields. We weren't patient. I mean, I guess we were patient with Mitchell Trubisky. He just never was a product, but you have to be patient. And I believe what Ryan Poles is doing. He needs to improve. The offensive line needs to improve, right? I don't care if we're winning game. Like, I want the offense to be better. I know the defense is going to ball out. I know that because they're a top 5 unit. They held CJ Stroud to 4 field goals. That's very, very good. That's
and a
good. The
touchdown.
defense.
But
And no, okay, yeah, but look, it's CJ Stroud. You're gonna give a touchdown. It's his. That's I think the defense gets an A or A plus. I wouldn't say A plus. A plus is like shutting them out, getting 0 touchdowns. But I'll give them an A. Right? They gave Caleb Williams a chance to win the game, and I'm not mad. Caleb Williams didn't get it because he's a rookie. There's gonna be mistakes. Kaden Allen didn't play. And the offensive line just did not help him. Now, am I taking Caleb Williams off the hook real quick before I get back to you? No. I think Caleb Williams did not play that well, obviously. But there's some mechanics, footwork he needs to improve on. Holding the ball a little too long, a little bit, but it's gonna take time. He's gonna need better protection. I am not quitting on Caleb Williams, and I promise y'all, Caleb Williams is the big deal. He will be great. Just give him time. Those 2 interceptions also, I am not putting those in. I know they were bad interceptions, but at least I'm happy he tried to do something. He tried to push the ball downfield. I am so happy he tried to do that. You you know that I talked to you after the game, like privately. I said that I was happy he threw those interceptions because at least that's a good thing for rookie quarterbacks to go through. Going through mistakes, playing through mistakes. I feel like with Justin Fields, with Matt Eberflus, he wasn't given those opportunities to throw interceptions and make mistakes. He was on a tight leash. Defensive coordinator. I know he had fumbles. I'm not putting him off the look. I'm not saying he's the most clean quarterback. I'm just saying to develop a quarterback, they're going to have to learn to make mistakes. That's what happens in the league. So I'm happy he threw it. I know I rambled a little bit too much, but yeah, that all in all, Caleb Williams is gonna be great. I am not worried. I'm valiant effort, 19-13. Honestly, perfect game, except for the offense needs to improve, but that's fine with me.
I guess one person in particular that we need to address this issue of the offensive line with is this guy. I guess. Hold on. Th- Wait, not
Oh,
me.
Chris Morgan. Chris Morgan, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why he stayed there,
this
but
is
you
his
go on.
third season. He was there with Justin Fields for the 2022 season, 2023 season, and now it's Caleb Williams for the. What did they all have in common? Bad offensive line performances. And you got to think, hmm, I mean, if the Saints, for example, are able to do things with Lucas Patrick,
Oh, that's
you
true.
know, what that means that if he Lucas Patrick sucked on the Bears, but is doing great on the Saints, I think it's more of a how do I say this? An offensive line head coach issue. And the fact that he was retained again, is concerning. And it's not. I mean, listen, this is not like there are a bunch of scrubs on this, except for maybe Nate Davis on this offensive line. Karan
Problem.
Amajaje hasn't even played yet. He'll probably play
Mhm.
next week. But as soon as Karan is back, I think we're gonna have a solid option, like offensive line wise. But Tevin Jenkins had to play better. Darnell Wright could not afford to make those mistakes with the false starts and uncharacteristically bad for Tevin Jenkins the past 2 days. Nate Davis, I don't at this point. Why is he even on the team? Like, there's really no point. If listen at this point, you got to cut your losses, right? I think that Nate Davis this year is the Chase Claypool of last year, where the effort is just not there. He's just holding the team back. Except for the first game, he didn't put effort, but yet we still won. And this game, he didn't put effort and we lost. So there has to be some level of accountability. Eberflus mentioned in the training camp that, hey, you're on a tight leash, man. Like, you're not showing up to training camp whatsoever. And
Wasn't he
now
injured?
you're not even performing, huh?
Wasn't he injured, or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't think he was that injured. He was like allegedly injured, but for the most part, he was just there walking around, just doing nothing really, from what I've
Mhm.
heard. Um, and I think like this performance just we can't like we had to cut the $20 million loss. Like fine, and guess what? Addition by subtraction at the end of the day. And two things you need to get rid of: Chris Morgan and him. And I think
Mhm.
by that alone is gonna change the defense. Sorry, the offensive line a lot. Is it gonna happen? Is it realistic in the sense of the McCaskies and their ownership firing someone mid-season? I mean, Alan Williams was relieved of his duties mid-season or
That's because
after
he
the
did like
second.
something behavioral. It's like behavioral.
Yeah,
Like,
right. But same with the another coach in the middle of the season as well. So it's possible, but unless there's some kind of like, stuff like that, then I don't think he's going to be go, which is going to be a problem throughout the season, meaning that Caleb Williams is going to have to survive. And that's the thing. How will Caleb be able to survive under this duress? And the thing is, yes, we're not going to be facing the what is it called? The Texans every week, but we'll have the Packers, the Lions with Aiden Hutchinson. We have the
mhm.
Vikings. We have the Niners.
Vikings have a
Like,
great defense.
yeah, and we have Brian Flores that like blitzes every 10 seconds. Like at that point, if this was 7 sacks, imagine against the Vikings, dude, with the blitzes every blitz packages every time. Like offensive line is it became compartmentalized in our minds. Like okay, we have a decent offensive line from on paper, but it turns out we don't. And I think it's mainly due to scheming, but also due to effort as well. If we don't have that, we're not going to get the ball down the field to DJ Moore. We're not going to get the ball down the field to Droma Dunze, Carter, Swift, who name whoever you want as a receiver. We're not going to get them because, and the thing is, I've been hearing a lot about total time to throw for Caleb Williams specifically. He ranks sixth highest or sixth lowest, or where it takes the least amount of time. And yet, media pundits are saying that he needs to throw it quicker. I'm sorry. Like, does that mean like before the ball is snapped, he should have thrown it? Like, is that how it? Are we really? What are we doing here? Because
Like here's the thing though, right? Like they said that again. Like I see what you mean. I see what you're saying. Like he's not throwing the ball on I see
nobody
what you mean.
is
Like the
though.
media is saying that. Like I get it, but look, there's a lot of times where he's holding on to the ball. Like I'll admit the offensive line sucks, and look, Caleb Williams is gonna learn that he can't do those like crazy plays that he did in USC. Like the NFL is different. Um, but yeah, I think the scheming sucks for the like the offensive line. Like it's just not good, and I just didn't understand why they kept Chris Morgan. Like you got rid of everybody in the offense, firing Luke Getsy. I don't know who else they fired. Like obviously I don't know everybody in the management, but they fired everybody. I know for a fact they did, except for Chris Morgan. What has he shown in the last 2 years? I mean, not including this year. What has he shown in the last 2 years to say okay? You could stay. Like, no, he's not showing anything. The Bears have had bad offensive line. The last year, Justin Fields was and the rushing offense was so dynamic, it hid some of the offensive line struggles when it came to running the ball. You see
But
those
yet
plays where
he was still the most sacked
yeah,
QB
that's true.
nonetheless.
That's
And the thing is,
he was.
Caleb right now is leading the NFL with sacks, with 9 over two
What's new?
games.
What's I'm telling you, what's new with the Bears? Like when it comes to getting sacks, like it's just not new. At least last year, okay, here's the thing. I know I hate bringing this up because, like, I know we're all tired of this. But at least last year, Justin Fields was able to evade those sacks. Sometimes it turned those into big gains. But look, obviously, Caleb and Justin Fields are
But that's
two
because it
different.
was a one read option. Like there was a thing
Mhm.
where Getsy would just focus on, okay, Justin, if you're not able to, get the read immediately, don't just bail and just run. That's all you need to do.
Yeah,
That's literally how it was for Justin. But the thing is, Caleb is different. We're trying to with Waldron and the offense specifically. We're not trying to do that again, and that's the thing. Caleb is not
I
like
just don't
that.
think
He has too much
Waldron.
arm talent, and he is not
I
built
think
like
Justin Fields
Fields.
also has. Fields has a good arm talent, but I see what you mean. They're two different players.
Yeah,
I understand
and the thing is,
they're two different players, but
like the scheming. No. But the scheming back then for a team that went 3-14 is different than a team that has playoff aspirations. Is what
no,
I'm
no, no,
saying.
no, 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 no. So I'm also talking about like last year. Like last year, Justin Fields was able to evade those tackles. That's like those pressures. He was able to do that like sometimes. I'm not saying he did it all the time, but he was able to do it sometimes. But obviously, Justin and him are two different quarterbacks. But what I'm trying to say is the offensive line has to play better. It's just as simple as that. If we establish a run
Offensive line
game,
and Caleb has to play better. That's I'm not
look, look,
I'm
look.
not keeping Caleb out of this.
No. But look, I understand. Like we're all so frustrated and Caleb Williams not playing well, and we're all like saying, "Oh, you're supposed to be like CJ Stroud." Like I thought that, but like I realized like it's gonna take time. Every quarterback's different. I'm saying Caleb still gets some. He gets some blame, but are we really gonna blame a guy who's played 2 games in the NFL right now? Like I'm
Exactly.
serious. Like, are we
Yeah, it's not
really like are we that down bad to like criticize a quarterback that has not played in the NFL that much and has all these high expectations? Like, we gotta chill on that. Caleb Williams will be good. We just have to wait. It's it's just patience. We gotta be patient with him. And
right.
I'm just saying, get a run game against the Colts. Get a run game, and the play action will open up, and then you'll be able to throw the ball downfield if you have a good run game.
Hmm.
But the offensive line needs to play better. Nate Davis, you gotta play better. Like Tevin Jenkins gotta play better. Darnell Wright's gotta play better. Everybody in the offensive line's gotta play better. Luckily, you're playing the Colts next week. Look, the Colts are not a joke team. Um, but I
None of
think
these, except for maybe the Panthers, are. But
no,
like,
the Rams. Okay, here's the thing. The next games you got the Colts. They're gonna be
for the
desperate.
Rams,
So you got to give them your A+ game. The Rams is going to be actually a lot easier now because Cooper Cup's injured for the next 4 to 6 weeks. They got no Puka Nakua. They got 2 of the starting offensive tackles. They're still not a joke. You still got Matthew Stafford. He's not a joke.
and Sean
But
McVay offense.
yeah, you cannot count them out. But it's a lot easier than what you were going to face before the season. So you don't have to worry about Cooper Cup, but you still got to worry about Matthew Stafford. You know, Stafford's that damn good of a quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback. And then you got the Panthers, and we gotta talk about that later. I just gotta say that we gotta talk about that later. But the Panthers, that situation with Andy Dalton, and then you got the Jags too, who are also struggling. And then you got after your bye, you got the Commanders, the Cardinals, who are not a joke, but
Wait,
and
the bye. When's the bye week? Seventh week?
the week seven, and then you got the Cardinals, you got the Commanders, Cardinals, and Patriots, and then you got the all
Ooh.
your onslaught of games. So I'm saying Caleb Williams, I'm giving you no criticism with you. Week 10, the offense needs to figure it out. This
Otherwise,
is
it's
your
gonna be
chance. The NFL gave the Bears the most perfect situation. I'm talking about the perfect opponents. They can
right.
play
I get
against
that.
teams that are not that great. They're still got to take them as seriously. But you're giving the Bears more reps against not so great teams where you got to sweat and like, oh, Caleb has to be so perfect in these games. You're giving him time to develop, and then by week 11, I promise you, the offense will be ready. It won't be like 100% like firing all cylinders, but it will be good against the Packers
Mhm.
and all the onslaught later on.
I don't know. Like Packers. The thing is, I think I would have more confidence in if we like against the Packers in the division games if we had started offensively the first two games. But
But dude,
listen,
we have time. We got time, man.
yeah,
Like
we have
you
time.
don't understand.
It's just the
We
part of me
have
that worries, especially with all the stuff that's happened right now.
I'm
It's
not worried
like,
right now. If you're asking me like genuinely right now, I was worried a little
nah.
bit,
I
but
mean,
I'm not worried at all.
there's a little bit of skepticism, but but
So here's the thing.
it.
Here's the problem. There's skepticism, right? Obviously, I'm skeptical about the offensive line, but if you're talking about Caleb Williams, like no, I'm not skeptical of Caleb Williams because I I was able to see what he can do. If they, you remember, he was about to get sacked by Daniil Hunter, or I think it was, or no, it was Will Anderson, and he threw something. I mean, obviously, it was interception. I'm not worried about it. I think he has the talent. Uh,
Yeah, it's just that he has to, clean up a lot of things. But
yeah, but
yeah,
I'm worried
anyways,
about the coaching. Coaching is something we need to like talk about real quick. I
defensively,
think,
I think Eberflus called a great game, except for the two boneheaded
but
challenges.
to be
But
honest, man, like to be honest, I'm tired of like commanding Eberflus just for his defense, man. Like, that's cool. Like, that's cute.
I get
Like,
it.
you're
But
you're a great offensive defensive coordinator. Great, that's cool. But you're the head coach. You got to worry about both sides of the ball. You saw
yeah,
you like what's the name? The guy on the Texans.
D'Amico Ryan's.
D'Amico Ryans. He's a defensive minded coach. He's a former defensive coordinator, and his offense is booming.
Oh,
Like,
because he has Clint Kubiak. Sorry, not Clint Kubiak. Bobby Slowick as his
yeah, but
offensive coordinator.
Shane Waldron's not bad. Like, he's not bad. He's doing, I don't know what he's doing. Like, Cole Kmet should be playing more. I know we're gonna get to
Hmm.
the other games, but Cole Kmet should be playing more. That's a big thing. I hate how Cole Kmet, you're paying Cole Kmet $50 million for Jared Everett to take more snaps than you. No, 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 no. Cole Kmet needs to play. That's a big thing. Cole Kmet needs to play. Use those two tight end sets and play ball, man. Come on.
All right. Anyways, now on to this segment
Yeah.
of the show. Kind of go over some of the headlines. Yeah, this was a very mixed emotion game. Like, the injury to Tua, prayers up for him. Hopefully,
Yeah, man.
he gets makes the decision, based on all the facts. And, personally, I think he should, step away because I think your health is more valuable than, the game itself. Um, CT is no joke. And, head injury, head trauma like that can affect you long term. So I
Yeah.
mean, he's gonna
No,
go through consultations. He's gonna fight. Makes sense because he loves this game and he got paid all that money and he wants to do it. Do the Miami fans right, or justice. But I feel like Miami fans in general, and while he didn't have a great game, Miami fans, wish him like to make the decision that's right for him. And
mhm.
now they're kind of in a situation now where
Look,
what is
here's the
their
thing.
season going to look like?
I think I agree with you. But I really don't actually, because I think it's up to Tua. It's up to Tua. Like, if he really wants to play, I think he should play. He should play. He should be able to play. I think the Dolphins should let him play. I mean, even if they don't think it's right, if he, it's up to
But that's
Tua.
just negligence at that point. Like you
But
know
it's
that he
up to
has
him. I no,
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 yeah,
no. But
you
here's the
know
thing.
he has four in the past since 2019, since he was in college, he got one major concussion, and then
But dude, at the end of the day,
5 years
at the end of the
he has
day,
now
players,
amassed. No, no, he has
it's a player's
amassed five.
choice. It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter if it's a choice. Like, listen,
It
like
does
yes, it's
matter
his choice,
because
but
I mean, you pay the guy $55 million, like 53 million. Like he gets to choose. Like he gets to choose. I mean, look, in my opinion, if I was him, I would really talk to like doctors, obviously. And if it's a unanimous, like everyone's telling you to like retire, you should definitely retire. But
so
if
if one
he wants
doctor
to
were to
play,
say that,
no, I'm just saying like he's got to make his own decision. It's his choice, his body, his life. But and I respect whatever decision he makes, man, because it's head injuries are no joke.
I,
But
I think
I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying,
I think that's just being
no,
stupid at that point.
nah. It's here's the thing. I mean, you can call him stupid or not, bro, but this is the game he loves. This is his life. This is his
Right,
life.
but I get that,
And
but then but okay, but if at one point he's gonna leave it all out there, and then at one point he's not able to like head trauma is causing him
that's
not to
his
walk
fault.
and all that,
That's his fault.
but then that's just negligence on the people around him.
No, but if people around him are okay, let's be honest. Well, in real life, right? If you're so set on something and you want to do something, no matter what the people around you are going to say, you're going to do it. That's just how we are. That's how human
But
nature
but
is.
that's
I
that's
think
fine. But that's not the right thing. Either way.
hey, look, it might not be right, but I think at the end of the day, I truly believe that Tua gets to decide. In my mind, Tua gets to decide if he wants to keep playing football
Right, but
or he does not want to keep
the
playing
right
football.
decision is to step away, in my opinion.
No, the right decision's up to Tua, in my opinion. It's up to
No,
Tua.
okay,
Whatever
fine,
he
but no.
feels.
The right decision, no. The right decision in general is for Tua to make the decision that to step away. That's my thing.
That's not no. I mean, look. At the end of the day, it's player's choice. And we can all argue like we could say like, oh, Tua should retire. Like, well, this yada yada yada. But like at the end of the day, I believe that it's Tua's choice. I think if he wants to play, he should be able to play. But
I don't know. I
if
think
I
that's
were
just
him,
a recipe for disaster.
but if I were him, I would definitely take a long decision, and I would not be surprised if
Oh
he
man,
retired though.
dude, you're gonna end up like what, dude? All right. Anyways, yeah. All right. The
But
Bills
if
look
it's like,
like all right.
I think at the end of the day, he'll make the right decision for what he thinks is right for him and what everyone around him thinks is right for him. I have confidence in that. But
All right.
it sucks. Dolphins did not play that good that game. Bills are looking really scary right now. Like
They
the
didn't
Bills are
really
gonna be
play
good this
that
year.
great, but defensively, pick six
Our
helped and all
defense,
that. But
Von Miller might
mhm.
be back. I'm just saying.
All right. Anyways, quickly, I guess Dallas absolutely got smoked at home against the Saints. Clint Kubiak, dude, he's
Called it, man.
revitalizing Carr's career.
Hey, I'll say it. You called it. You called it. I, I,
That
I
trap game.
Dallas. I just don't know what went wrong. Look, shout out to Alvin Kamara. Shout out to Alvin Kamara. I drafted him. I love you, man. I love you. 44 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kamara,
But
you're the
yeah,
goat, bro.
do you think that this is like
Might
do
have
you
to,
think the
might have to
Saints are
cop a
back?
Kamara jersey, bro. The Saints are not back, bro. I'm sorry. This is like, look. It's gonna be so controversial saying this, but like, I think the Saints could maybe fight for the playoffs. But look, let's be honest. Who do
Oh
they beat,
shoot.
man?
The Falcons won.
Oh, I'll look at that later. But
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll
look,
get there. It's just happening right now. So
Saints. I feel like they're a pretender, bro. Like they're not. They're not like, dude. Come on.
yeah.
Like, okay. I'll say this. Derek Carr's impressed me though. I did not see him going like this. I thought we were gonna see Spencer Rattler after week 5.
Mm-hmm.
Saints are looking good, but let's see. Like, dude, they played the Panthers. Cowboys is a good
And he
win.
played
That's a good win.
Cowboys. But
Cowboys
yeah,
is a good win.
Cowboys are kind of in shambles right now. That was a
They
very bad
allowed.
win.
They've
And they're
allowed
facing the
the last.
Ravens next game.
The last 2 home games they've allowed 40 plus points.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a defensive letdown.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. I mean, Cowboys, yeah, they're their own problems, but Detroit,
The Big
I really,
Show.
I'm so happy that Baker won. I'm so glad I was wrong because, like, I
Oh, I
really
was
wanted
right.
Baker to
I
win
said
this.
Baker. I said Baker.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways,
All
the
right, let's
Lions
get it. No.
they
Okay, okay. I thought
botched
we were going with this
okay,
one.
the Lions. Okay, let's quickly. Lions botched the field goal attempt that kind of saved it essentially. But anyways, Niners biggest upset
Let's
I
talk
would
about this
say.
one, man.
Biggest
Look,
upset.
man. I know they beat them. I know the Niners beat the. Sorry. The Vikings beat the Niners. But Brock Purdy, man, you're so terrible, man. I'm sorry. Like I know I've been critical of you, and like people have told me, like you, Soback, that I'm wrong, that Brock Purdy's good. No, he's not. He is not good. I've been trying to tell you all. He turned over the ball twice, two drives in a row against the Niners in his own the 10-yard line. He did it like once, threw a terrible interception. Just played terrible this game. The Niners are in shambles. They lost Debo Samuel. Look, I'm telling you all right now, Super Bowl hangover is a thing, and the Niners might not win the division.
Hmm. Interesting take. Do you think the Cardinals might?
No, I'm not that. I'm not that. Like I'm not like that high in the Cardinals. I think the
So
Cardinals are
then the
nice. I think they're
Rams.
deep. No, I think the Seahawks might win it, bro. But I don't know. Like I don't know though. Like the Niners, like it's just the problem is you don't got McCaffrey for so long. You don't got. We just learned that Debo Samuel's out, and you know how Brock Purdy is without Debo Samuel. We saw last year they lost 3 straight without Debo. Um, it's just a bad sign. You should have won in Minnesota, man. Like
Yeah.
the one time I wanted Brock Purdy to do well, he does terrible, like he always does. So
Yeah.
I just
And
if
but
I'm the
look,
Niners man after that game, bro, do not pay him, bro. That's all I gotta say. Oh, don't pay him.
but I'm happy because Darnold's having kind of a Baker Mayfield revitalization of his career.
No, no,
Um,
no. He's no. He's getting lucky. Like I'm sorry. Like no. Good win for Darnold. Shout out to Darnold. First week you play the Giants. Who cares? Like you're supposed to win that game. You have
but they
Justin
beat the
Jefferson. You're supposed.
49ers.
Yeah. I mean, look. At this point, I think the Bears can beat the 49ers, bro.
Oh
No.
no,
If we're getting no, if we're
no,
getting
that's not how it
no,
works.
no. Because if we're getting this Niners, yeah, we're winning. Because you don't
Mm,
understand. If the Bears defense gets 2 interceptions here, we're in the red zone twice because they were in the red zone twice after 2 interceptions.
I
It
don't
was an
think.
interception. It was an interception and a fumble in the 15-yard line. Like they got 2 turnovers on Brock Purdy, and Fred Warner did everything he could to help this team win, and Brock Purdy was just that terrible to not win the game. So no, Brock Purdy, I'm sorry, you're not getting paid after this season, bro. There's no way the Niners would be so stupid to pay you, bro.
Hmm. But yeah,
Okay,
I think Darnold. I mean, me personally, I think Darnold, is benefiting from being
he's
on
done after the
Shanahan's.
season, bro.
No, I don't think so. But I think being benefiting from learning under Shanahan last year, and
You think they're
then
gonna start Darnold over McCarthy?
I mean McCarthy's out for the season, so I mean
I'm
this gives
talking next season.
Darnold the opportunity to you know potentially start for another team that needs a quarterback. But anyways, I digress. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
Darnold is going to be,
yeah.
really good for this team. I think that O'Connell has done a lot to kind of help him and make life a lot easier for him. And learning from Shanahan as well could help you,
Mm.
apply to a lot of things that O'Connell we've seen like scheme really well for his quarterbacks, for Kirk Cousins, for Joshua Dobbs. The only kind of thing that he couldn't really help is because with Nick Mullins and what's his name,
Jaron Hall.
Jaron Hall. They're just dogs. So it doesn't really make a difference. And then Sam Darnold, who is pretty good, um, you know, but I'm glad for him. Good for him. And I'm kind of
Just
looking forward to it. I just hope that he plays bad against the
looking
Bears too.
forward to. No, he's gonna play bad next week against the Texans. I'm just telling you right now. Put some pressure on him. He's gonna fold. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Chargers, there's really not much to say about this game except for
No,
the
actually,
Panthers are dog water.
there's a lot to say. Actually,
Hmm.
we just learned today that former number 1 overall pick Bryce Young just got benched after
Yeah.
Dave Canales, after losing this game, said Bryce Young is our quarterback. Well, 12 hours later, we get a Schefter bomb, and he says that Bryce Young is benched. And look, my initial reactions is I genuinely think Bryce Young's career could be over, and it sucks.
Yeah.
It actually sucks for Bryce Young because I saw a lot of people, they said Bryce Young was a great talent, and I see it. I saw it a little bit, a little bit. I got one game I saw last year against the Packers, but against Joe Barry defense, but whatever. It just sucks because he was put in such a bad situation, and man, like it just no one. I don't know if they like. Okay, the only way Bryce Young comes back is if Andy Dalton plays equally bad as Bryce Young did.
No, he has to play way worse than Bryce, and that's like a feat in itself. Um, but
But I
I
just don't
guess
think like I just don't understand why they would bench him. You gave up so much for him.
it doesn't.
Unless
Listen, at the end of
they
the day,
know,
Canales wants to save his job. That's the only
but
thing. Save face.
unless unless they know they're gonna be the number one pick again. Unless like they wholeheartedly know. But this draft class sucks. Like
Doesn't matter. I think that
they're gonna
I
take
think
like Chador,
can no. They're probably gonna take like I don't even know
Carson,
anymore.
Carson Beck.
I don't know.
I'm
But
gonna tell you right now, everybody who wants to go to the Panthers, if you're the number, I would literally Eli Manning it. This is the one situation where you would actually Eli Manning it is not bad.
yeah,
Nobody is gonna survive in the Panthers. I understand Bryce Young is not the most physically gifted quarterback. It's 5'9", short. All the short kings out there, we all look up to him because Bryce Young's 5'9". He made it to the NFL, number one overall pick. But it's just like I feel bad for him. I really do. The Panthers made everything worse for him. I know he wasn't great, but like he was put in the worst situation in football. No one could survive. No one could like survive there or play good there or succeed there. I feel
yeah,
bad for him. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but like I feel bad for Bryce, man, and I just hope his career like he goes somewhere else and proves someone wrong, like goes and does a Baker Mayfield or something like that because he deserves so much better, man.
yeah. But I guess in other news, Jim Harbaugh 2-0, unlike his brother who's 0-2. But pretty
That
much
streak's
the
coming. That
Chargers look.
streak's. No, you go. You go.
But Chargers look pretty good. Next they're gonna face a
The
interesting
Steelers.
test against the Steelers next
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
But
yeah. You know who
yeah,
I'm picking that one though. You know who I'm
yeah, of
picking that
course you
one.
are. But yeah, I picked this. I also told you. I told you. I knew it. You can trust the Packers when it comes to. Listen, LaFleur. At the end of the day, listen. As a Bears fan, you damn well should know well that no matter what, who they put a quarterback, as long as they manage the game well. Thing is, LaFleur knows and has a game plan always against
No,
it,
bro. You didn't watch
and
the game
they
then,
end up
bro.
they all Malik Willis needed to do was just game manage, give the ball off to Josh Jacobs, do all the right things, and guess what? The Colts defense this just totally proves that they're not as formidable as we thought, and AR probably
I,
very
I,
iffy,
I,
but
I was right. Let's say I was right. I was right. I was right
sure.
about Anthony
Wait,
Richardson.
it's too early. Listen, it's too early still. I get it, but I see what you mean. But it's.
He's okay. Okay, I'll tell you right now. He's Joe Milton, but a little better. If you know what I mean. Can throw the deep ball, but it's just so inaccurate. Okay. Here's the thing, man. Anthony Richardson, man, like he gave them the game, man. He
Yeah, pretty
gave
much.
them the game. He sucked. I don't care. He had that heroic drive at the end. Like no one cares. No one
Mm-hmm.
cares. You played
He had one
terrible.
job, and that was to beat the Packers, and he couldn't do it.
This team, the Colts, were so much better with Gardner Minshew. And that's saying something. Gardner
Yeah.
Minshew is miles better than Anthony Richardson, man. Next week, Anthony Richardson threw three interceptions this game. Dude, the Bears are about to farm and get 4 interceptions next game, bro. I'm sorry, dude. Anthony Richardson is not good. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, like Shane Steichen, I'm not even gonna blame him. He's calling a decent game for him. He just throwing interceptions. I can't tell who's worse, him or Will Levis. I can't tell. I
Nah, it
cannot
has to
tell
be
who's.
Wallace. I'm sorry, it has to be Levis, but we'll get to that. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
right here.
Packers. I told you, you know, that's just how it be. It's they somehow
Look, look,
find a
look, look,
way.
look, look, look. It's not like the pack. Okay, I wouldn't say that. Okay, look, obviously the Packers won. Shout out to them. Got the win. Uh, got Malik Willis's first win, and he finally passed for over 100 yards. So shout out to LaFleur, but it's not like they won the game, man. Like they just happened to play the Colts, who gave them the victory. But look, I'm gonna give them their win, give them their flowers. I was wrong, but like it's not something where
Yeah,
the Packers fans are like, "Oh, we're so good, we're so back." No, like no. But
yeah,
obviously they didn't
yeah,
have love too. So I mean,
exactly.
you take a win. You take a win.
Anyways, Jets, Titans. This is kind of a snooze fest as well, but Levis. At this point, Callahan just hates him at this point because it's like, dude,
Levis is on bus
two
watch, man.
games they could have, they could have literally been 0-2. Sorry, 2-0, but they just threw the game literally. And Jets look a lot better than what they did in the 49ers game. Rodgers is starting to come into form a little bit. He's old, you can tell with his arm, but still, he's Rodgers-esque. You can't really say anything about that. And the Jets team looks a lot better. They look a lot better with Rodgers. That's for
Mhm.
sure. They're gonna be, in the conversation for making the
Yeah,
playoffs, but we'll see what happens. But Tennessee, they have a lot to figure out with this team. Um,
Tennessee, man. Like I just don't know. Like Will Levis is not the guy. That's all. That's all I gotta say. It's not like they gave up so many draft capital to get him. They got him the second round, but you
mhm.
might have to be shopping for a quarterback this draft class because you have a talented group there, and you okay. By the way, I'm Tennessee Titans have the number one defense in the league.
I don't know if that's true. I don't
That
know if
is
that's
true. They have the
why
number one ranked defense in the league.
they gave up 48 points in the past 2 games.
They still got the number one defense. For some reason, they have the number one defense.
I don't know what stat that is, but interesting. Um. Anyways,
They're,
speaking
like
of
I think it's
defense,
like graded. Like yeah, yes,
I don't know. But speaking of defense, Mike McDonald and the Seattle Seahawks won a game. That's
damn. I
not
got a
really
lot of
much
these
to talk
wrong.
about. Yeah, it's not really much to talk about, but
Yeah, I
you
don't really
know,
want to talk about this game. I mean, like, it's a snooze
it
fest.
was
I
a
mean,
it was a
yeah.
defensive moment, but Gino did all right, and the
Mm.
Patriots hung in there.
I'll just
I
say
think
this.
Patriots.
I'll just say this:
Sneaky.
Jackson Smith, and Jigba is going to be a star.
Hmm.
That's my one thing I got from that game. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyways, Cleveland Browns. This was a
I
god
mean,
damn it.
look, I like Trevor Lawrence. Just bro, I don't know, man. What happened to Trev, man? Like
What
what
happened to the
happened?
Jaguars, dude? I think this is the Doug Peterson effect, dude. He had one good season, and then from then on, it just keeps progressively getting worse. Like in
You
Philly,
had
it was the
Deshaun
same thing.
Watson
I guess Deshaun looked good, decent somehow. Like, how
beat
does
you.
that happen?
Look, like obviously the Jags, like I said, the Browns have a good defense, but I just Trev, like at one point, like do we just like, give up on Trevor Lawrence? Like I know I'm
No,
being so
not yet.
serious. I no, 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 no,
I
like
think it's
Jags are
too
gonna
early.
no, the Jags are gonna they have no choice. They gave him the bag. They gave him Joe Burrow money, which is a big mistake. He literally has Gardner Minshew stats, but he's just younger. But at one point, do we just say Trevor Lawrence, you're not a top 10 quarterback?
What about if it's just the core? I mean, yes, it's him. Like he's making the interceptions, he's doing all that. But I think there's also like maybe
I look, he's talented. Don't get me wrong. Like
coordinator,
he's like
maybe a
how
new
much excuses?
face.
How much excuses are we gonna give Trev, man?
I
Like
mean,
who we got?
yeah, sure, but there has to be a reason why he's regressed, isn't there?
He just not as good as people thought he was. He even his good year, he fumbled a lot. His big problem in his whole career is turning over the ball. Trevor Lawrence has
Yeah.
turned over the ball the most in his since coming to the league. He's one of the most, I think. But I just at some point you got to put some accountability for Trev, the Prince. Like you got to put some accountability to him. He just hasn't performed to the fullest. hopefully he does. The Jags gave him the money. Not the smartest decision. But we'll see if it pays off later. But yeah, another
Yeah.
snooze fest game. Another snooze fest right here.
Yeah, Daniels didn't look that good, but he, was able to find a way to win. Giants, I think they're like the first ever team to, not give up or like not give
Yeah,
up
not give up a
a
touchdown.
touchdown and still lose the
No,
game.
it was seven field goals, like some stat like
Hmm.
that. Like they gave up
Something like
7.
that.
But look, here's the thing. I think the Giants could have won the game if they had Graham Grinnell. Like
Hmm.
they had to go
They
for
went for
like
two.
four. No, they went a lot of fourth downs that they shouldn't have. I think Danny Dimes played decent. Like
Need to
he
play
played
better.
decent. I mean, look, Danny Dimes. I know his career is about to be over. He's about to be a backup, but have fun, man. I'm just telling Daniel Jones right now, bro. Like the Giants are most likely going to move off of you. It just
Yeah.
unless you like go 13-2 or like 13-4 or something, which is not happening. The Look, just have fun. Like that's all I can say, man. Just have fun. You're gonna be a backup. Like you got the bag. I think this
So
is
when do you think it's time to put down Tommy DeVito in?
when do I think it's time to put Tommy DeVito in? It's first of all it's gonna be Drew Lock, but
I mean, I think Tommy DeVito probably earned
I
the
think
spot
wait,
for.
can you just search up real quick? Who do the Giants play the next 3 games? I know they play the Cowboys week 4 Thursday Night Football.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know who
Like
they play next week,
they play the Texans.
but
Wait, no, that's preseason. Um, they play the Browns, the
next
Cowboys, and the
week,
Seahawks. Yeah,
yeah. So basically, you're gonna be 0-5.
pretty
So
much.
I think you take him out after 0-5
Yeah.
because that's because here's the thing: Dable is gonna try to. He wants to save his job. Brian Dable wants to save his job, so I think 0-5 you take him out.
Yeah.
Maybe even after the Cowboys game, you take him out, bro. Like I'm being so
Hmm.
serious. But
Biggest upset.
Daniel Jones, you got the bag,
Mhm.
fleece the Giants, but its career is basically over, man. Him and Bryce are about to be buddies, man. Like, but yeah.
Anyways, Baltimore Ravens. You know, John
Oh
Harbaugh.
boy, was I happy! Boy, was I happy when I saw the result because look, Lamar Jackson starting 0-2. That's
You know
crazy.
that starting 0-2, you have a 5% chance to make the playoffs.
Look, I know I hate Lamar, run, but I'm not saying he's not gonna miss. I'm not saying he's missing the playoffs, but if they keep losing, because they play Dallas next week, look, that was lost too. Too embarrassing. Like I mean, this is not as embarrassing. You lost by 3, but
No, but it's the
two teams.
Raiders.
Yeah, but the Saints, like the Saints are
The
okay. Let's
Saints
be
are
honest.
somehow.
Like Saints are just making their way right now. But
Yeah.
I put the
Brock
Saints and the
Bowers,
Raiders in this.
though.
Yeah, he's a generational tight end. Like he's gonna be great. But what I'm trying to say is Lamar, man. I'm not even gonna say anything about you, man, because you didn't really play that bad. Like you didn't. Your offensive line obviously played worse. Um, but this is a crushing loss, man. But look, I think the Ravens are still gonna make the playoffs. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
it's the Ravens, man. You. I don't know. Oh, look, all I gotta say right now is the Steelers are winning the division. That's all I gotta say. But you continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
Anyways, let's quickly get to the last bit of the games. Rams, Cardinals looked really good. Marvin Harrison Jr. very
What did I
good.
say about Marv? What did I say about Marv? Everyone. I told everyone to chill about Marv. Man, he had only 4 yards. I said Maserati Marv will be a Hall of Famer after 3 seasons. I'm telling you, this is how good he is. He is honestly. I'm telling you right now. After this season, he'll be the best wide receiver in the league. I'm telling you this right
Mm.
now. You guys are gonna say Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, that fraud. Who cares about that fraud? But Justin Jefferson, he has that talent like Justin Jefferson does. He's so good. He can get all those contested catches. Played amazing. 2 touchdowns. Come on now. Him and Kyler are about to
Yeah.
have a really good season. So good job by the Cardinals.
Big game for this one. Bengals somehow lost this game. I think it was
It's
a
pass
pure ref
interference. I'm
ball.
sorry. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. That's pass interference, bro. I though, like, look. A lot of people are saying it's pass interference. Like the Bengals fans, they can cry all they want. Like I'm happy, honestly, they lost because, Screw Jamar Chase. I hate that guy. I mean, obviously, great talent, but he just talks way too much. But whining about a contract. Like, dude, you're not getting a contract after 3 years. I don't care how good you are. You're not getting a contract after 3 seasons. It's not how it works. It just doesn't work in the NFL like that. You're not a quarterback. You're not the most important position, right? So, Jamar Chase, I'm sorry, you just no, you played terrible too. Like you didn't play that good. Like you've been talking so much about the Chiefs, and you just lay an egg every time, except for that one time against them, the first time you beat them. Like you not played good. Jamar Chase, let's not talk about him. Joe Burrow though, fantastic, good job, Joe Burrow. You played pretty
except for
good.
that pick six or like the
No, not it
fumble
was a
six.
fumble. It's yeah. I mean that's unfortunate. I think Joe Burrow played well. If you're a Bengals fan, like obviously it sucks to lose to the Chiefs, but no longer called it Burrowhead anymore. But um, they got they. I think they're. I think the Bengals fans should feel a lot better. That's all I gotta say. They should feel a lot better after this because it did not look good week one. So Burrow had 2 touchdowns too, so that was nice.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, the game. To be fair, after the first, thing, it just kind of like it was boring after that. But I'm happy for Justin.
Yes,
Obviously, he got his
sir.
revenge.
Look. All I gotta say is this, man. People are gonna be like, "Look at the stats, man. Justin Fields in like 117 yards." No, bro, you did not look at the game. He had a 51-yard dart to George Pickens that got flagged because of I think what was the name? Oh,
Holding.
Broderick Jones, that fraud. Like like no, Justin Fields he's going to be the guy. He is going to be the guy for the Steelers. He played phenomenal that game. I think the second half he was more of a game manager. He didn't really like score points. He should have had 2 touchdowns. Obviously, that Van
Mhm.
Jefferson. I don't know what that's called. Like screen. He had like a screen, like illegal screen or something. But look, he
Mhm.
had two. He had really good plays to George Pickens. Pat Firemouth. He threw down the field. Very very happy for Justin Fields. He is the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm telling y'all right now, they're going to win next week, and they're going to be going to the playoffs and hosting a playoff game. They're going to win the division. I'm telling y'all right now.
Interesting.
I'm
Yeah,
so
moving
high
on
on
to
the
this
Steelers,
game.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the game. I didn't really get to watch the game
Uh,
that much, but
I can't really talk about this game. I just know that Jalen Hurts had a rushing touchdown and a touchdown.
so I don't even
Um,
know who sold more than anything. Because
can you put the
Jesus
stats
Christ,
up?
defend.
Can you put the stats up real quick?
I guess you can. Ew, get this guy out of my face.
That picture does not. I don't know. Whatever. It's not the best picture, man. I think the Bears did him a little dirty there.
Well, it doesn't matter. He sucks anyways. One
Yeah.
interception, two tutties for
Okay.
Kirk. Kirko had a good game.
Yeah. Good. Hey, look.
Bijan, look,
Obviously, I didn't
our boy
obviously, fraud.
Darnell Mooney,
You
88
know me.
yards.
You know me. I don't. Darnell Mooney like last year was terrible for us, but he's gonna be good on the Falcons. But look, I think the Falcons played good. I think looking at the stats, Bijan played pretty good. Just use Bijan, man. He's a great running back. Kirk Cousins, happy for the guy. You know, Steelers diced him up last week, but played good against the Eagles. My biggest problem with the Eagles, man, is their defense sucks. I'm saying it right
Mm,
now. Obviously, this game was close, but their defense sucks. But can I see how my boy Drake London did? Damn,
not a touchdown though.
that's pretty good. I'll take that.
That's really good.
Kyle Pitts, bro. Please give him more targets, man. Oh my god, I have him in my fantasy league. But anyways, look, shout out to the Falcons for winning that game. I mean, I didn't watch it. Probably was a good game, but yeah.
Nah, it was kind of boring, so I stopped watching after a bit. But yeah, I guess that concludes it. The Falcons ended up winning, meaning that I went officially 18-15. Well, not bad. The week 2, 9-7. Week 1, 9-7. So there's consistency. I'm above 500 each time.
Look, man, I went like
Anyways,
7-9. I went 7-9. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I guess that concludes the show. You got anything coming out like content wise?
I mean, obviously going to make some Bears content. So, you know, obviously I have a new channel, Slashing Up Next. Trying to grow that one because of my copyright strike. But I'm going to make a lot of content about a week two. A lot of good storylines there. So go check out my content. Also go check out Sobacksports. Makes a lot of good content too. So, appreciate you for having me here, Bryn.
Yeah, of
Been a
course,
great
of course.
podcast. Uh, Anything else you
Yeah,
want to say?
I mean,
Close it.
that's really it, folks. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, remember to like and subscribe. It really means a lot to the channel. It really helps to create content like this. Thanks for slashing
Get him
God
to a
next
thousand,
for
man. Get him to a
thousand. There
thousand
we go.
subscribers.
Hell yeah,
Get him to a thousand subs, man.
yeah, thanks again for watching. If you made it this far, appreciate you as always. And yeah, I guess that concludes the show. I'll see you guys on Thursday. See ya.